We are excited to bring you this week's newest episode of the Iron Huddle Podcast with WBFF Pro, National Anthem Singing, Barbell Bikini Podcast Creating, beauty of Hudson, LA, Amelia, Skye. And finally, this episode of the Iron Huddle Podcast is sponsored by Torque Strength and Conditioning. Torque Strength and Conditioning is a great place to work out and offers a variety of programs such as Torque GPP, Torque Barbell, Torque Fit, personal coaching and wellness, and youth and teen development. And we hope you enjoy the podcast.
So are we good to roll whenever?
Well, we've been rolling for about 2 minutes.
Oh, perfect. We can just go with your intro then.
Rolling stuff.
WBFF or WBBF?
WBFF.
WBFF athlete.
Yep.
And Amelia, Skye Fitness.
Yep.
Perfect. We are lucky enough to have her join us today and talk about her journey. She grew up locally here, and she's going to tell us a bit about that. And now she is training for her next show in WBFF.
Correct.
And it's going to be an interesting thing, different than any of the three of us have ever done.
Yep, definitely.
So, I've never done a beach bikini photo shoot. Have you guys?
I mean, I had aspirations to do one someday, but you know.
Professional.
And then you saw the mirror. Yeah.
No, then I looked at myself naked one morning. And I'm like, that ain't gonna fucking happen.
And we're also lucky enough, she's not going to want to tell us this, but we're joined by Kathy as well.
Yeah.
Amelia's mother, so
My
that's pretty awesome.
amazing mom.
Yeah, that's awesome. So can you tell us a little about your story here and where because you grew up in the area, didn't you, Amelia?
Yeah, so where are we right now? We're in Woodbury. I grew up in Hudson, Wisconsin, just across the river.
Yeah.
And I was born in Minneapolis originally, but my family made our way to Hudson, Wisconsin. So I am a Hudson native. I graduated from Hudson High School in 2014. I then attended the University of Wisconsin River Falls and graduated in 4 years, thankfully. I have a marketing communications degree.
Good for you.
Yeah, and it's been able to kind of help me throughout my personal journey. I have 2 years under my belt. I ran for the title of Miss Wisconsin USA. I don't know if you guys are familiar with pageant
Absolutely.
industry.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, if you've heard of the national televised Miss USA, it's on TV every year. That was my dream. I wanted to compete at Miss USA, which would mean I would have had to win Miss Wisconsin in order to go.
So was this right after college or during college?
This was during college.
It was.
So my junior and my senior year of college, you know, I have this really driven mindset. I like to say I take after my dad because my dad, I mean, as my mom right here would tell you, like, he has like so much that he loves to do. So I have a lot of traits that I got passed on to me from him. And so I balanced Miss Wisconsin at the same time I was on prep for my very first bikini bodybuilding show. And I was singing for, like, I had booked the national anthem gig that I sang at a playoff game for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they played the Dodgers, and that was in Phoenix, Arizona. So I had all of this at one time.
So let's back up here.
Yeah.
So
She's a lot going on.
I know.
Which is
We need to get a
great,
whiteboard
though.
out.
Yeah, it's like being a multitasker.
Yeah.
And so many things going on. It's easier for you to focus on what you with school, with training, with posing, with singing. When did singing come into this? Did you grow up singing?
I have been a singer since day one. I've loved singing. I actually have been singing the national anthem since I was like 14 years old.
Wow. Which actually is really impressive because I hear more and more of professional bands and lead singers that decline it because it's so easy to forget and mess up. So the fact that you are wanting to do that is even more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like what a lot of people kind of know me for. Even when I went to UWRF, like even last night, so I went out to the bars last night in River Falls. Funny joke, I don't drink, but I went out because I was like, hey, I need to be social. So, you know, I went out just to see people, and I had a couple people come up to me and go, I remember you from singing the national anthem. And I'm like, yeah, I'm your anthem girl. I sang, like, I no joke, there was at one point I was singing 3 times a week for that university.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
hockey, basketball, volleyball, soccer, literally all their athletic events. So that's kind of also how, like, my Instagram following came about, because I said, I'll sing for you guys as long as you always, like, promote my Instagram.
Yeah.
So they did, and here I am.
So do you always do the national anthem, or do you have any other songs that you like to sing?
I mean, it's not that I don't sing other songs, but I personally don't consider myself like an artist. Like, I don't write my own music. I love to cover stuff. John Mayer is one of my biggest music inspirations. I love covering a lot of his songs.
And he's pretty much like the lead singer for the Grateful Dead now, isn't he? Kind of took over
so.
as he's one of the best guitarists around too.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
So I cover a lot of his stuff, but as far as like, I never really had experience in I guess I did do a few gigs, and through high school I had a guitar player, and we would go around and sing at different areas in Stillwater and stuff like that, but I was never like a full-time musician. It's just that I love singing, and I have a different, like a really unique voice. Like you guys could look up my national anthem video on YouTube, and it's, it's there, but
well, we could use an intro to the podcast, so it might be an opportunity to.
I mean,
if you're get the pure American going.
I was not expecting that.
A lot of crazy things happen on this podcast.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
What did I get myself into?
I was like, what?
I had a personal training client at one time who was into opera. And we had to be careful with a handful of movements that we did in the weight room because his coach was worried that it would affect his voice. Have you ever heard anything about that, or do you have any experience with that?
It's funny you say that because as I get more into bodybuilding and I lean out, I know even on my last competition prep, so like I said, I was doing all that at one time, and when I sang at that playoff game, I was like, I was like 4 weeks out from my competitions, and and I was shredded, and I was so worried that my vocal cords were not going to be able to do it because I was just this little thing, and
I need carbs.
I know, and I nailed it. And
good for you.
Thank you so much. And like, I had a professional voice coach I was working with, so she helped me a lot. And to this day, I definitely feel a difference in my voice. It's gotten like a little worse. Like I can't sing as high as I used to, but I mean, you think about it, like your vocal cords are just like your muscles, so they need to be worked too. So when I was like actively singing like that, I was also actively working my vocal cords, just like I would be actively working my muscles in the gym. So yeah, I definitely do see that, like, it does affect your singing voice for sure.
And then with that, let's talk a little bit about taking the stage presence from, it's obviously a huge endeavor to go on stage in bikini with everybody looking at you and judging you, when now you go on to a huge stage of a filled stadium watching baseball of 40,000 fans, plus everyone at home watching across the world. How do you prepare for that, and is there any similarity between the two, or you just tell yourself you're the best and you go? What happens?
It's one of those things where I would be lying if I said I was not nervous. Like, you can ask my mom, like, she was the one with me on it. She got to come down to the field and stuff, but it was the most incredible experience of my entire life. Like, I feel like it was just yesterday, and it's already been been like 2 years, I think. But I had to just kind of like tell myself, like, there's a reason that they chose me. Like, I went through an audition process. I got the email that they wanted to book me. I sang August 31st of 2017 was the date I sang, and I had to just kind of go out there and, like, I remember all the ball players, I got to meet a lot of their players, and they were all like so supportive of me, like, wow, like, you look good, like, you're gonna nail this anthem, and because I had, like, I was like this little muscular thing just on their field, and the thing that freaked me out the most was there's a camera guy right in my face because they film it.
It's got to be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. I mean, he was like this close, and I was like, hey, I mean,
It prepares you for your future when you blow it up in LA, right? So it's all just baby steps.
But I mean, I remember going into the experience, and I said the one thing I want to do is make my mom cry, and I get off the field, and she's like, oh my gosh, she's
That's
like bawling.
awesome.
I'm like, yep, well, that takes care of that. So.
So within the singing aspect here, and particularly the national anthem, since you're obviously the number one person for it, where or what event have you thought of that would be like the top for you? Is it the Super Bowl? Is it World Series? Is it the opera?
Oh,
what would it be for you?
Like
the
to sing
Olympics?
at?
Right?
The Voice.
The Iron Huddle Podcast.
Are you a Voice fan,
opening?
Nick? You keep saying The Voice.
I am a Voice fan.
It's crazy. I don't know like where my next national anthem will be. I actually just submitted to like 7 different teams to hopefully get a callback or an audition or something. But I would love to sing at a home Dodger game, because now that I live out in Los Angeles, like everybody wearing Dodgers t-shirts, and I like in my head I'm like, I sang for them, you know, but I didn't sing for them at their home turf. Like I want to sing for them at Dodger Field in Los Angeles, California.
All the palm trees and the sunshine.
Because now that's like where I live, I was like, that would be really cool.
Oh,
and actually, you know, nope, I lied. Mr. Olympia, I would.
You want to do that one?
So I actually reached out to their team last year, and like they were kind of like interested, like, hey, like let's hear a video of you singing, because they had never had a national anthem singer at the Mr. Olympia. It's always just been a recording. Cool. And because it is like nationally, like it's live, they were like, we don't really want the responsibility of someone like screwing up our national anthem. And I was like, well, I already sang like for pro baseball, you know, like I got this. So they, unfortunately last year they just said it's not the year we want to try it. They were like, keep reaching out to us in previous years. So I am going to bug the crap out of them until that they let me sing for them.
Now, I may be negligent on this, but is the Olympia at the Arnold, are they two different events?
Olympia's in Vegas.
Okay, so if not, you should also talk to Arnold when you see him next time at Golds and say, hey,
I'm your girl. Weeks ago.
That's what I'm saying. Say, I'm your girl. I'll kick off the Arnold. It'd be great to see all the competitors, honestly, whether it's outside or inside the convention center somehow, some way.
All oiled up. Just
how cool would that be? Yeah, I think that's pretty neat. That would be pretty neat.
Yeah, and it just, you know, I have mad respect for anybody in like the bodybuilding industry, and I love the sport so much, so I love being able to combine my passions for music and bodybuilding, and I've actually been fortunate enough to sing here in like for some local NPC shows here I'm blanking. I sang at the Gopher State. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the shows here. I sang there. I sang at one this past summer too. But yeah, I mean they're cool.
That's awesome. So back to your competitive days, was your first competition bikini or physique, or what was it?
Bikini.
And was that when you were in college or high school, or?
Oh yeah, college.
Okay, and then we talked. Was that when you first used Trevor as your trainer? We had him on just a few episodes ago. Yeah. Trevor Birch, right?
Yep, Trevor's awesome. Yeah, he took me through my very first ever bikini prep, and I loved literally the experience was so cool. Like I wanted to just keep competing, but I knew I needed to take the time off and have a good off season. I was like this little thing, like I was like, I want to put on some muscle. I had no legs, and you know, and I just was like, no, I had this crazy vision of like, no, I want to take this to another level. And Trevor is actually the one that I'll never forget the day I was training with him at any time in Hudson. He was like, you know, because I was also doing Miss Wisconsin at the time. He was like, you know, like, do you know what WBFF is? And I was like, huh? I was like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, well, look it up. It's like a bodybuilding pageant. Yeah. It's not really local here. It's more like in bigger cities like LA, Chicago, Miami. And I like, sure enough, looked it up, and I was like, yeah, like Trevor, like you're the man, thank you. So, here I am today, and I still stay in touch with Trevor. So.
Very cool. Nice thing about that, I think you guys are almost the same age. He's like 23, I think.
23, 24.
And being so young and having all that knowledge of personal training is really impressive.
I know, I envied that about him, because I didn't know what I was doing, and every time he'd switch my diet up, I was like, Trevor, what? Why? And I remember one time texting him like, hey, let me know if I'm ever asking too many questions. I feel so bad. And he's like, no, like, no, don't ever feel bad for asking questions. And I just was so curious about everything because I like wanted it so bad, and like, he was great.
That's awesome though, because us coming from more of a powerlifting and just strongman background, he came on. I've been friends with him for a while, and I said, hey, and he invited us to come out there and lift with him, so we had the opportunity to. And I've been through some of his workouts before, but when he puts that time and attention to holding in the pre-exhaust, I was already done.
Back by Birch.
Then we started the workout. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But back to you then. So after you compete in those events, you were telling me you moved immediately out to LA, or how did this all transpire?
So I competed, and then, oh gosh, it's like all a blur because it all just went boom, 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 boom. So I stepped off stage in November of 2017.
Okay.
Then I graduated in May of 2018, and by July 1st, I was out.
Wow. That's awesome. I think it's obviously the right time in your life to take those chances and go chase those dreams. What inspired you to go out west? What inspired you to go there?
Oh, man. I kind of grew up always wanting to pursue acting. I was always I wanted to be an actress. That's what I wanted to do. I fell into the stunt industry. Like I went to stunt double boot camp for.
They have that?
That's awesome.
What are we wasting your time
What are we
here?
doing?
Yes. I'll take a fall.
Yeah, so I went to stunt double boot camp.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that in March. Like right before I graduated college. Oh my gosh, that's a big part that I forgot to mention. And I just like, I saw like a different side of things. I was like, if I want to do this, like I need to do this now. Like I don't have anything tying me back. Like I'm not in like a serious relationship. Like I don't have like a serious job offer out here. Like what am I doing? So I sure enough just, you know, I kind of didn't really tell anyone until I found a place to live. And then once I found the place to live, I was like, all right, let's go.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
And I'm out.
So we talked about, when you talk about you want to be an actress, is there a specific show? Like what really motivated you besides just wanting to be? There has to be a show or two.
I always was a fan of Vampire Diaries. I watched that.
Big WB fan, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
And so like Nina Dobrev, she's like my goals of a person. I love her. She's beautiful. She's just like this in shape like character, and so she always inspired me with acting. You know, and then I was always like, I want to be her stunt double so bad. But then I obviously like my heart's just not completely in the acting industry because I find myself more having fun with this like bodybuilding thing, and like, that's kind of what like people were just starting to really follow me for my fitness and like you know what I was doing in the gym. And so I would love to be an actress someday, and I actually have had some really good acting opportunities. I was the lead actress in a regional commercial that filmed out in Mankato.
Really
nice.
So you guys probably even seen it on TV because
what was that for?
It's for a clothing line called Grafe Clothing. I don't know if you. It's like a super high-end like business apparel. So after that, I mean, I remember that was another really good highlight of my life because I remember that was like a 12-hour shoot that I had to film overnight. And, yeah, in Mankato, and like I went on it like super like blindsided, like knew nothing. You know, I just they wanted me, they booked me for it, and I was like super shocked, like okay. And I'd taken some acting lessons, definitely here and there. I took some out in LA. I was out there in 2015 doing some acting lessons and stuff. So yeah, I mean, like I said, like I have like the craziest, weirdest life, but
sounds like it. We're happy to have you on. So what happened so far with the stunt double life? Have you been in anything? Have you wanted to pursue it, or just kind of you gave it a chance? It wasn't for you.
I mean, it was kind of something I just like wanted to get my feet wet with it, and I knew nothing about like how it worked. I just knew I was like, oh, I'm daring, like bring it on. So I flew down to Atlanta, Georgia, and I trained with two of the top stunt coordinators in the industry, and did like some high falls, car hits, wire work.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So let's go over those a minute.
Yeah, it's like, so we gotta figure this out. That sounds like every like growing up as a man, like when you're a boy, that's the shit you want to do for fun. So this sounds fantastic.
So were you like wired up, and you know obviously the car's moving slowly, and you pretend to fall into it, or are you like jumping off a building and do a bunch of pads? Obviously, are you secure with ropes every time?
So I did, my high fall was a 40-foot high fall, and I was on a scissor lift.
Oh my god!
So they take you up in the scissor lift. I mean, you work your way up. So I didn't start at 40 feet, but it was honestly the most terrifying thing of my entire life. Like I'd have to be paid thousands to do that for a movie. I will not do it again. I did it twice just to get it, but you jump into an airbag.
Okay.
So.
Is there a certain way that you're supposed to land when you do that?
Oh yeah, if you overshoot your target, you're going.
Shit.
So I did what's called a suicide. You basically
that sounds like the best option.
Run. Yeah, right. You like kind of take a little running start, and you like it's literally like you're running in midair, and then you flatten out on your back and you land in the airbag on the target.
Okay. How many times did you run and stop and go back again before you actually got the courage to go?
I actually just did it. I was the very first one in my class to like jump off that stupid platform and
wait for it to buckle you.
And I mean, I have like video of me doing it, and you can just hear me like screaming. It was terrifying, but
not Hudson anymore.
It was so fun. It was so fun.
So with this, obviously, I mean, was being in the character's clothing part of it too, so you had to wear exactly what this person was wearing, and do you have to like, are they very, was that part of it, or
this was just training?
Oh, it was
so
training.
It wasn't
it
wasn't for a film or anything.
Yeah.
These stunt coordinators I work with have done a lot in the film industry. Like the guy, he was in E.T. He did a lot of stunt work in E.T.
Very cool.
Which I thought was really cool. And his wife Shelby, she did stuff in Terminator. So I mean, they're very known in the industry.
And love those movies.
What was your, beside jumping off the roof, what was one of your other favorite events you guys did, or?
My personal favorite is the wire work. They hook you up to this harness, and so like, you know, in movies when they have like scenes where people are getting blown up by bombs and they just like fly backwards.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Oh, so they can like
that's
explode
all
you
wire
off?
work. Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, you're in this harness, and it's really dangerous. And they told us like what could happen if it goes wrong. Right before I was about to go, clearly, you know, I was like,
You could lose a leg, but hey.
Yeah, no, and it's because you're on this like air compressor thing, and they like hit a button and it just launches you back. So
sounds like they ride to the county fair.
This sounds fantastic. Is there a weight limit on this thing? Let's go.
Yeah, this was my favorite. That was my favorite stunt we did, and I connected with a guy out in Los Angeles who has a training facility for me to be able to go train wire work.
Okay.
So I think after my competition season, I am going to go out and try and see what I can do with that, because I'm like small, and they said like I'm just like a good size for it, you know, and.
Yeah, because most actors and actresses are pretty small in stature anyway, so if that's what they need in body doubles, it might be ready for Ellie.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides like The Rock, but most of them I think are, you know.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it was it was probably the most craziest thing I had ever done.
Now, you going back to moving out to LA, you want to talk about that adjustment and how that went for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was the hardest thing of my life. Like, it was really, like, I remember, like, clear as day, like, my mom flew out with me. It was, like, you know, it was not easy. Like, we were both just, like, bawling, like, leaving each other. It was like, oh, my gosh, like, what? Just because I never thought that I would actually ever do it.
Yeah.
But I knew if I never went, I would not be happy.
Sure.
I would just have this, like, guilt on my life. Like, I'm not doing something that I really want to do.
Sure.
It was really, like, a big culture shock for me, because there's just people from all over the world that come and try and relocate to LA to pursue an art or start a business or, you know, do something. And at that point when I went, it wasn't really, like, my purpose wasn't really that clear. Like, I moved out to LA, like, all right, like, I have, like, a big Instagram following, like, I'm really into fitness, I sing, what now? You know, I didn't really know, and now I know, like, I've been out there for almost a year, and now I know exactly, like, what I want to do. Like, I have, like, my Barbells and Bikinis podcast coming out in June. And
very
like,
nice. What's that called again?
Barbells and Bikinis.
And is that going to be found on iTunes and everything?
Everywhere you can access any podcast, it will be found.
Okay,
I'm really excited about it.
Listen up and tune that up. We'll have to listen to that.
Heck yeah.
All right, awesome.
So, yeah, you know, and then I want to go pro in WBFF Bikini. Like, I want to go far in that sport.
Sure.
I really want to launch my own clothing line.
Okay.
And with my online coaching, I just want to be able to pursue that a little more and just kind of, you know, like, go with it. But like I said, when I moved out to LA, I didn't have any of that in the works. I didn't know my purpose. I just knew, all right, I'm out here, I'm in a big market, I'm gonna do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but
you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. And now I actually, like, have a little vision and kind of some goals in mind. So that's
awesome. And you're, again, you have such a variety of things you're interested in. You're just always moving. That's probably helpful for you to keep everything going. So let's talk a little bit about your training. It looks really, really cool when you're over at the Mecca there, the Gold's Gym. Do you ever run into Mike O'Hearn? Are you ever early enough to be there for him?
I've seen him.
You have?
Yep,
okay. Anyone else that you've seen it as you've kind of just been, whoa, I'm actually by this person?
I've seen, you know, Colin Von Moger a lot. I see Charles Glass every single day. I'm there every day.
That's awesome. Do you ever train with him, or is he?
I am going to be training with him just for fun.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Well, that's a great opportunity. I mean, all the people that and all notoriety he is, that's awesome.
Yeah, you know, and like Karina L is another one that I really look up to, and I see her a lot. David Lade. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All these beautiful people.
And you know, it's kind of cool because we're like at the Mecca, we're just like this family of athletes, and like you'll see someone with like millions of Instagram followers, and it doesn't even like faze me anymore. I'm just like, oh hey, what's up? Like it's, we all say hi to everyone, and I've never had an encounter with anyone at that gym that I felt like I couldn't go up to and say hi. Like, it's a really cool feeling. We all just come together and we're all there, and that's a beautiful gym in a great area. So I'm really privileged to be able to work out there.
Well, I think that's the best part about finding yourself and recreating yourself in a new environment is being surrounded by people that are like-minded and you have same goals, and it's just really inspiring. And with that, have you made any friends? I mean, you're going there with your own goals and everything and training for this competition, but have you made friends or have you been able to train with at all?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you asked that because I was so alone in Los Angeles for a little bit of my time where I felt like, wow, I'm never going to be able to like click with anyone. I'm such a social person. I have like a lot of amazing friends back here, but as far as LA, like it was really tough to find a good group because people, I'm just going to be straight up, people are assholes all day. And I have an amazing group of friends now. 3 of my best girlfriends. Shout out to Meg, Hannah, and Danny.
What's up, girls?
They're and I have other friends out there too, but like those are my girls. Like we are all like we're like all like just we hang out so much, and we all live right near each other, and we do train together and all kind of have our own online coaching businesses, and and I live with some great roommates, and it's just like I feel like finally I have found quote unquote like my people where I'm like, okay, you guys I can go to with anything and you'll help me out.
I think the best part about that is that you created it too, right? That's what we kind of found in this podcast. If like the Field the Dreams quote, if you build it, they will come. And we've built this, and now we have you here today, right? They will come. And so I think the cool thing with you doing that is not only is it just personal, but it sounds like it's business-wise as well. So these friends that you're kind of bouncing ideas off, I'm sure you're helping each other in all aspects of life.
We seriously are all entrepreneurs. That's like what it is, and we all have little work dates where we're like, we're gonna go get some work done, because it's like really what it is out there. We're all just working hard on our businesses and trying to just grow, and there's such positive energy to me that like sometimes I like low key just lay down at night and I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you God for like bringing these people into my life, because if I didn't have them, like I honestly don't know if I would still be out there, because I was just starting to be like, wow, if I'm gonna feel this alone, I'm not gonna be able to stay out here.
Well, good for you for putting yourself out there and being courageous to do it, where it's much easier to never leave, right? But it sounds like you found a really good home there. So now, do you ever look at some of the old like history of like back when Arnold and those guys were living the dream? Like, do you ever go stop in at the Firehouse restaurant, I think it's called?
No.
And get the big, no, you don't ever
I'm not even going to lie to you. History is not my thing. I don't really get it.
Oh, God. All right, here we go. Okay.
You can ask my mom. I say some of the dumbest stuff, and she's like, you should know this. And I'm like,
Well, at least
you and your friends wear the leather belts and go play football, like on pumping iron.
Yeah, and with that, okay, so do you ever actually just, you know what, maybe it's a second workout of the day, you're just not feeling it, and you just go to Venice Beach, and do you just ever do, I always see the bars out there, did you ever just do a bar workout where you're hanging, doing just a back workout maybe, and just getting the sun in a pump on instead of going to the gym that day?
I've definitely been out to Muscle Beach a lot, but it's not. It's kind of dirty. I don't know.
Absolutely. You gotta come with an attitude.
You
gotta have some grit.
It's kind of like just these men that are like, this is my thing, and I'm just like, I'm this little 5'4", 130-pound girl that I'm like, I'm not gonna step on your territory.
I think you and your other 5'4" friends have to go out there and make a because it'll be awesome.
We'll come out. We'll all go together. It's fun.
And just do like farmers blows and spits off. Let them know you're there.
You know, I wanted to.
Can you imagine that?
That's what I mean. It'd be hilarious.
Right there, I'd make respect for her. I don't even do that.
That'd be great. Just chug a bang and just.
I'm dead. I have a YouTube channel now, and I
you do?
Yeah, I do want to film them.
We should collab some. We just started ours today.
It's right behind you.
Yeah.
You're lying. Just say.
Look to your left.
Look to your left. And there you are.
What's
up? We actually did. It's kind of fun. But
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I have. Cool. I've just started it, so I'm kind of thinking of all these like. My manager and I have been sitting down trying to think of, all right, what are some YouTube videos we can do, and I do want to go out to Muscle Beach and film a workout or do something, just because I literally live 2 miles from Muscle Beach.
Do you really? Mm-hmm. Man, you're in heaven.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, with that YouTube video channel, what ideas are you going to just show your daily life on occurrence? You're going to try and do some things where you're training and like you're singing, or going to try just something completely new and check out the food in this area? I mean, what's kind of your, what are people going to have to look forward to?
So it's going to be a lot of lifestyle stuff. I think now that I have like my competitions on the line, I'm going to be filming a lot of my WBFF, like my prep journey. And then, you know, like I'm going to go home. I have this giant walk-in closet in my apartment, and I have a lot of like my Instagram fans that are like, can we like see a tour of your closet? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll get right on that. So I'm going to film a YouTube video, you know, what's in Amelia's closet, and they're going to see like thousands of 6-inch heels that I have, and like, you know, stuff like that, just what I eat in a day. I did one, my mom and my twin sister were in town to visit me. I threw one up with them in town. Actually behind the scenes footage of my podcast, kind of like you guys. Nice. So yeah, it's just different lifestyle stuff.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Now you mentioned your twin sister. Is she in the same athletic field you are? Or she kind of have her own thing going on?
She's definitely a very fit human being, but her thing is that she doesn't have to try as hard as I do, so props to her, because she's just like, she kills it, and she doesn't, you know, and I'm in the gym like working so hard, and I think she was a gymnast growing up, so
they're the worst. They're always great at everything.
His girlfriend's a gymnast.
Oh, okay, so you know, they're just they're so
strong
fit.
and athletic.
They don't even have to really like try because their gymnastics background has put them
very much so.
They cheated.
So no, she doesn't. She likes, you know, I took her through a shoulder day the other day, and I killed her. She was, I made her do 100 rep burnout. And like halfway through, she was like, I can't do it. I was like, well, I'm going to grab some 3-pound weights and you're going to finish the setup. So she did it.
That's awesome.
But she's a very in shape girl for sure.
Very nice. So for you in the competitive WBFF,
yes.
What are your strengths and weaknesses that you find? Are your shoulders your strength? I mean, what for you is something that you feel like you're secure with, and are things that you're really working hard to work on?
Since you guys all know Trevor, you can ask him. My weakness was my legs and my glutes, and like literally I had no butt. All these bikini girls need, like, we are judged so hard on our legs, and I had this crazy shredded upper body. Like my back is the most shredded thing on my body when I cut. And Trevor would always like, you know, we'd go through leg days, and it was tough because he's like, we need to like put some size on your legs. And because I had just jumped into the sport without actually going into an off season, like I just literally, it was like, I'm gonna do a show, and I was tiny. Now I took 2 years off, and I turned my weakness, which was my legs, into my strength. I train legs 3 days a week now.
Really?
Yes, 3 days a week, and I mean I went like really, really hard, like crazy hard leg days. And I mean my legs aren't perfect right now, but I actually like have some legs now. So that's why I'm doing a show. But yeah, definitely that was my weakness. I turned into a strength, and I'm excited to see kind of how I look on stage now.
And I'm sure we're going to see the overall plan and the new YouTube channel you have coming out.
Yeah.
But can you kind of describe to us, is the 3-day leg workout always the same, or is it changing on, you know, we're going to go heavy this day, we're going to go light, we're going to focus on reps, time our attention and counting, like, do you change it? Or?
So yeah, I do 2 really heavy leg days a week. So my Monday is my glute and hamstring day.
Oh wow.
I go heavy.
Okay.
My Wednesday is my quads. Literally straight up just quads. Like that's my favorite day of the week because I love it.
And then you Uber home because you can't walk.
Yeah,
right?
no kidding. No kidding. And then my Friday is just kind of high rep day.
Okay.
Low weight, high rep, just a little bit of everything, and it's nothing crazy, but it's just to kind of like, all right, we're gonna work these legs a little bit more, and then we're gonna rest the weekend and start all over.
That's awesome. So, how does your nutrition play into that? Have you been with the same nutrition coach for a long time? Do you change that often, or you have it kind of down by yourself right now?
No. So my coach Paul, he is based out of Miami, Florida. He's really known in the industry.
Okay.
He is amazing because he knows like the science behind everything, and he's got me on 5 low carb days and 2 refeed days right now, only because we've been having a little complication with my body wanting to drop some weight. I think just because it's been so long since I've done this.
Sure.
And so I got a refeed day today. I am one happy girl. I have a lot of energy.
Thank God it's today.
Yeah.
So with that and the dieting, I mean, do you fluctuate very much in weight when you're getting ready for a show? And if so, has it ever affected like your thyroid or anything else like that? Have you always been particularly healthy?
I would like to say I've been particularly healthy.
Okay.
I think, I've never really had any crazy complications. It's been a crazy journey, you know.
Okay, what's one of your favorite refeed meals? Do you ever get a cheat meal?
Pancakes.
Okay, right to it.
Nice.
Pancakes. I'm a pancake girl. I had some pancakes this morning.
Good for you.
That's my go-to.
All right, as many as The Rock and his cheat meal, do you like stack it halfway up? Or?
I mean, I would like to do it. Like, I would love to eat as many as I could, but I unfortunately have to keep it controlled. I only got to eat 3 today, and I'm tiny, but I can eat so much freaking food. It's crazy.
Now, are you homemade, or are you going down to Smile and Moose, or where you?
No, we made them. My sister and I made them. Well, I guess she made them.
You know, with your peanut butter M&Ms, like, we got to get into detail here. What'd you put on them? Toppings.
I love sugar. You guys have no idea. I'm the queen of sugar. Like donuts, like candy, anything. That's my thing. Like if you give me the option of a
You're talking to the right guys here.
Yeah.
Have you gone to Duck Donuts?
Yeah, I love my sweets, and so I have to keep it really controlled with my prep, just because obviously anything could throw off my body and make it go crazy. But I mean, I love like ice cream is my like cake and ice cream. I tell everyone is the key to my freaking heart. Cake and ice cream combined.
And
don't
syrup
give me
on
cake,
top, right?
Don't give me ice cream. They have to come together. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, what do you have you ever thought of has the WWE ever approached you? I mean, I think they have.
Actually, yes.
Why are you here? Go with them.
Get out.
Wait, this is really dumb, but that's like the fighting stuff, right?
Yes. Well, the wrestling, WWF. Yeah.
I did get an email to attend a casting call out in LA for that, but it doesn't strike my interest.
Maybe
I've had a lot of people, like even through Insta DM, like a lot of people reach out and say you should do it, but it's WWE, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't have a desire.
Okay.
I don't know.
They do have a national anthem singer as well.
Do
so
they?
You could start out and all of a sudden you hit someone over the head, they're not looking. All of a sudden you're like
badass.
Yeah, they
just chair stomp
the storylines. Yeah, you could because your athletic background, the stunt double, and everything else.
You have all the words.
All the pieces are there. The acting.
Maybe I'll think about it.
And your work well on a mic. Yeah,
they
honestly,
reached out to me to attend a casting call.
Well, Vince, if the paycheck is right, just answer.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I'll keep you posted. Maybe that's my next endeavor.
That'd be awesome, honestly. As long as we get front row seats, I'm in.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
We gotta get to the show.
So, what else do you see in your future, in your venture? I mean, do you see your future in LA a long time, or do you want to kind of maybe float around and try a different city, or come back at home at some point? Or I guess in the short term, what are you kind of seeing out there right now?
Yeah, so I kind of gave myself like a 3 to 4 year timeline out in LA. I love LA, but I will never settle down there. It's crazy. And like I have aspirations. Like I want to be a mom someday, and I'm like I could never raise kids in LA. Like what?
Yeah.
So
smog.
Yeah, like what? So I want to check out Miami. I do see myself moving to Miami here in a couple years, kind of when my business gets more established. And I'm only 23, so I'm like, by the time I'm 26, I'd like to maybe be out in Miami.
Sure.
And as far as like super long term, like I just kind of want to keep growing my empire and keep taking on like clients and changing lives. Like I never thought that online coaching would be something I would really enjoy, but I'm really enjoying it. Like I love inspiring other people and being able to help other people kind of achieve their fitness lifestyle, because fitness doesn't come easy to people. And even just like I just mainly have lifestyle clients right now who want to just lose weight, and they're like, I don't know how to do it, like I just don't know, like I'm not capable of doing it unless someone's there to help me. And I'm like, I got you, because it's something I love. So
I think the important part of that is it's not a quick fix. You're probably going to be with these clients for a long time.
Yeah.
And do you also I guess, are they sending you videos online? Are you with them in person ever? How does that work for you?
Yeah, so they check in once a week.
Okay.
They kind of pick a check-in day, and they check in, and I kind of switch their nutrition. I have them on counting their macros, kind of like what I'm doing right now for my show. Obviously, I don't have all my clients in this crazy deficit like I'm in, but I teach them portion control and really how to just choose like healthy options, because some people just don't understand like that. So
And is it harder? Are a lot of your clients LA based, and is it harder because, well, I'm sure your clients have a decent amount of money, but I mean, everything out there is so much more expensive, right? So it's going to be harder sometimes to even eat healthier because everything is so damn expensive.
I mean, honestly, since I just launched my business, I have 10 clients right now, and a few of them are back here from people that I knew and went to high school with, and then a couple of them are out in LA, and that's all I'm taking right now because I don't want to overwhelm myself. But yeah, I mean, LA is a very, very expensive place. Like, I'm 23 years old and I can't even, like, I'm just like, what? Like, but yeah, it's, I just have it closed off to 10 clients right now.
So let's talk a little bit about your brand new and exciting Barbell's Bikini Podcast coming out.
Yeah.
What does that kind of be focused on? You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's as it's the title, Barbells and Bikinis, because I am a bikini athlete and I do a lot of fitness modeling. We are kind of just focusing it on like my Instagram, and like I get, you know, people reaching out to me via DM, and they always ask me like questions, and so I kind of have like this little segment in it where I go through questions that my Instagram asks me, and then I'm bringing on like a new guest each episode. So I have some guests in line, and we're gonna kind of talk about like like you guys are doing with me. Like I love like new perspectives on life, and I love learning other people's stories. So it's gonna just be kind of a little entertainment podcast for anybody that's interested in fitness to kind of maybe hear about other stories and other people's like fitness journeys.
Absolutely, that's awesome. I think we've had such a good experience with bringing people on here and learning about, you know, their journeys, and you can see someone from the outside and have a perspective of, oh, it's so easy to be like that, or what they've done, and just anybody can do it. And you actually hear a lot of the struggles they've been through, whether it's nutrition or depression or overcoming this or that for this reason, is really enlightening to realize like the amount of work it takes to and a lot of our guests are either been high-end athletes or coaches, and like what you're saying with what you have going on, the multiple things, the one thing I think that resonates is they all have so much going on in one direction, they just can't stop.
It's like I'm always on the go.
It's like that, what do you say, like a racehorse? Keep those blinders on, keep going in one direction. As soon as you look any other way, you crash.
Honestly.
You just the people who are really good at things that they do is because they just keep fucking going.
That's why I kind of said I had to kind of pick one path. Like, as much as I love acting, I love singing, fitness was where I found my heart at the most. And I noticed that like people were really like following me for my fitness journey, so that's why I'm where I am.
Nice. So when you're not pursuing your fitness every single day, and I guess what's your escape? Because you need an escape, right? So what's your escape from all this, for even if it's a little bit during the day? What helps you escape from everything just to get your conscience back?
Definitely my friends. I think, like I said earlier, I'm a really social person. I like to just go out and meet people and hang out with my girls. We have like movie nights and stuff, and just kind of for all of us to escape. Also music. I mean, I will sit down and sing here and there too, just to kind of keep that as a piece of my heart.
You ever just walk in a karaoke night and just blow people away?
You know, I have done that.
Really? That's awesome.
I have done that.
Yeah, there's stories about Kevin Hart. Is that his name? Who's the little
guy?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought I messed it up for a second.
Right away.
But he talked about on Joe Rogan recently, I think it was, how when he has a new set he does, he'll take so many different appearances and the little stages before he goes to the big like videotaped one on Netflix. But he'll pop into random comedy shows, open mic nights, and see the reaction. Now, obviously, it's different now because he's a huge star. But before that, that's what he would do, and even now. And he tries to see whether or not he gets an honest and open reaction, or if they're just cheering for him because of his name, which is kind of neat. But but for you, it sounds like you kind of have everything, focused in the direction and nothing stopping your way. That's really cool.
I mean, honestly, I think the most the craziest part about it all is now that like I've had, because I work out, my home gym is Riverfront Athletic Club in Hudson.
I love that place.
Where I've been working out for a long time, and I've had like some people come up to me and just say like, hey, I've been following you, and to me, like, I am just so touched by that. Like, I am just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't expect it, like, but I just am so thankful for the people that actually do support me and do want to follow my journey, and it's just like, I'm, you know, knowing that I'm inspiring others, it's crazy.
Just by your actions, right? How great is that?
Yeah, and it is so, like, I am just still, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And this is my life. But
I think the best part about that, Jim said, it kind of reminds you of LA a little bit, or California along the ocean, but the river. Like the cardio, just go out there and run up and down that pier there. Like, it's a great spot for that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
It's nice. So, and actually, we have a few events coming up here. If we could work out the details off air, we have a grip event coming up. We could also use a national anthem for. And perhaps,
yes, we could.
Perhaps a couple strongman events.
Me on your podcast
Perhaps we might have put you in a position. But that would be fun. I don't. It's an inaugural one. I don't think there's been a grip event like this in the Twin Cities in years. If ever. So you have a bunch of
we have mics.
People just, it'd be great.
Oh, I'm so down
fun.
for that.
If you're in town that weekend, it'd be a really fun
I'll
time.
make it happen.
Yes, this will be fun. I'll go up Anthony videotape and we're just throwing it off. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I'm in. Count me in.
Awesome. We got the flag right there and everything. It's all set to go. We just gotta do it.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I'm really glad you could join us today.
Yeah, same.
Is there anything else? You guys got it all?
One thing that you talked about a few times in the podcast was facing fear and facing adversity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You strike me as somebody who approaches those things with a massive amount of courage. You, from my experiences with you, seem to have a great attitude. Where does that come from? And do you have bad days?
Oh gosh, do I have bad days? You can ask my mom.
Her mom's shaking her head, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything truly does have a reason for happening in life, and now that I'm, you know, on my own and I've left the nest of my family, I've seen that bad things do happen, and it's how you perceive it, and like, you got to surround yourself with the right people and like the positive energy. And I was stuck in, you know, like I was seeing a guy out in LA for a little bit who had this just terrible negative energy on me, and it took me down, and I really saw how badly that affected my life and my choices. And once I realized, like, wow, like, it really truly comes down to who you put yourself in with. And I have such an amazing group of people, and so as far as like facing your fears, I like to say, like, everyone's gonna fail in their life. Like, even the most successful people fail, and I've been listening to a lot of like uplifting podcasts, like motivating podcasts, and I've just learned a lot. Like, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday, and I make sure to like sit down and write out my goals each day. So I know, like, that sounds so cliche, but for me, like, sitting down and writing out the stuff that I want to accomplish in the day has really helped me, because then it's like the feeling of crossing it off the list, and just, you know, it's never freaking give up. That's what I tell people, like, never give up. If you want something bad enough, you will do whatever the heck it takes.
Yeah, I think that keeps you grounded, and it keeps your values at the forefront of your mind.
Right.
I think that's really important. I also think, too, a huge takeaway from this podcast for anybody that's listening is Amelia is somebody who kind of like manifested what she wanted. She knew what she wanted, and she sent that out to the universe, and I think the universe has been very rewarding and has helped her out a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, never give up. You have a goal in mind, you got to do it. You can't be scared of it. So
awesome. If people want to get in touch with you, Amelia, or follow you on Instagram, what is your Instagram name they can look up?
Yeah, so it's Amelia Skye Fitness. That's Amelia with an A, Skye with an E, SKYE Fitness.
Awesome. And you also have your podcast coming out again. What's the name of that?
Barbells and Bikinis with Amelia Skye, and
nice.
Also my website, ameliaskye.com.
Okay, and then you also are going to have us on an episode.
Yeah.
So we look forward to going on that.
We're coming out.
So that's
Heck
awesome.
yeah, you guys are coming out. We're going to party it up on my podcast, Barbells and Bikinis.
All right.
Before we end here, Nick, do you want to talk about a little bit what's going on in your life this week? What's going on with you?
My life.
Yeah.
Man, you always do this to me at the end of the podcast.
Well, people want
I
to
should
know
be
Nick.
ready for it by now.
That's okay. Ryder, we'll start with you. What's going on with you this week?
I'm ready. I am gearing up to take off for a while. I have I'm turning into a little roadie next weekend. I'm going to see Tool in Des Moines, then Chicago, Then I drive back to the cities from Chicago Monday, and I fly to Holland to coach for a week.
Sounds like a great
It'll
time.
be awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Be a good time.
Awesome.
All right, I got something. I've been recently looking into the sapien diet, and
you mentioned that.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to continue to explore that, but I want to put on a little bit more mass, and that's kind of my goal, is just to try to hit it as hard as I can, eat as much as I can for the next 4 weeks or so, and then try to transition into that sapien diet. So.
How about you, Amelia? Besides joining us today, what else is new in your life this week?
Well, I head back to LA tomorrow morning.
Oh, right.
So I'm going to go back. I have a full week ahead of me with shooting content and getting back to my workouts. But, the usual. I'm 7 weeks out from my show. So.
That close already. Wow.
Crunch time.
Yeah, it's time to tighten things up a little bit and get it going.
Nice. That'll be fun. Good for you. Good for you.
How about you, Mad Dog?
What?
What do you have going on? He always does this.
Actually, trying to get out of my comfort zone. I just started an Instagram page, so if people want to go check it out, check out Mad Dog Madline. You can see it from the Iron Huddle Podcast if you're willing to see it. But
I still can't believe you did it.
I know.
I'm proud of you.
I'll probably get off in June. But I went out to Philadelphia for work, and the first thing I did was take an Uber from the airport straight to the Rocky Steps, the statue. And so I saw a picture. I was just stoked. And
Did you have your Uber driver take that picture?
No, just some random out there.
No.
But they were like tour buses, like they'd be in LA, like double deckers. And they had just taken off, so I got a chance to run it by myself.
Oh, cool.
And then as I had some homeless guy take a picture of it, another double decker came up. And so I got there the right time.
Yeah, you
That's
slipped
awesome.
right in.
Yeah, the crazy thing about it, I think I sent you guys the video of me running up the stairs. And maybe I will. I think I sent
No!
you
We need this.
Is that Bobby Hill running up the stairs?
Yeah. The Minnesotan in me put my bag. I just traveled with one bag.
Yeah.
My bag and my cell phone on video.
Oh,
and
no,
just ran
you
out.
did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was probably dumb afterwards. But nobody took it.
I have to note how you just said bag, because I live in LA now, so everybody critiques my talking because they know I'm from the
screw them.
Midwest.
Yeah.
So I heard it. I finally heard what people hear in me.
You don't know till you leave here.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
you know.
I've been out of Cali twice, and each time people are looking at me weird. I'm like, shit, I'm from Minnesota.
That's a whole other thing for you is people probably judge you immediately like, oh, she's from the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're awesome.
Yeah.
We're nice.
I know.
We
I
are
know.
nice people. We're nice in a very passive
We
aggressive
enjoy
way.
our pot pies.
Yeah, dude. Pot pies and pillows. Hellos.
Milk and milk's another one.
Yeah, milk and milk.
Yes. Bag. I just did it.
That's one thing too I don't notice until I leave here and I came back is how much we say oofed up. Dude,
Really?
Dude, I can count about 20 times a day in this gym. Oofed up. I'm like, shit, I just said it. They said it.
I think we have really strong, us essentially like you and I right are, especially have strong northern accents.
I didn't know
Or
until-
Minnesotan, I do
straight up.
Yeah, people are
I'm
probably
proud of
really
it.
annoyed by it.
That's why like some of the things where I coach, they call me the coach from the north now, which I'm all right with that. It's kind of my little staple now. It's cool.
We can't thank you enough and your mother for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
so much for
so
coming out. It was
much.
a blast. Thank you.
Thank you so much.